Okay, I'm doing 30K a day right now consistently with Facebook ads and Shopify dropshipping. I've cracked the code, and in today's video, I'm gonna explain the entire strategy in idiot terms. So easy that a complete beginner is gonna understand how to make money with this platform. So if you just copy this simple system that I'm about to teach you, you're gonna make a lot of money. All right, so here you can see my Shopify store, which has done $563,000 in sales just the past 30 days alone. We're sitting at a 1.76 conversion rate, and we made over 7,000 orders. Of course, I'm just gonna go ahead and refresh this for you so you can see that it's legit. But the craziest thing is we had some losses earlier this month, and it hasn't been so consistent, but I implemented a new strategy I'm about to teach you, and we scaled all the way up, as you can see here, 28K, 31K, 33. And today we are sitting at $38,000. So it's safe to say that I can help you with this. And you're actually luckier than you'd think, because the current state of Facebook ads is incredibly easy. Everything about ads is gonna make sense after today's video. So stop everything you're doing, okay, and watch this one, because I promise to you, this is gonna be value like you have never seen before. All these sort of autistic campaigns that you have been running ends today. So let me give you the exact step-by-step guide. Now, before we start, there is one thing that you have to have in place. And without this, I promise you that you will have nearly a 0% chance of success, okay? And what we're talking about is your creatives. I know Facebook ads seems like you just press buttons, you're on a vacation, you bring your laptop, you just click here, click there, increase the budget, and you make money. But that is not how it works. You need two things: a great video ad and an irresistible offer. So have a look at this campaign right here, because the metrics are absolutely amazing to be running in the UK. As we can see, multiple of the ad sets are sitting on above a 5% click-through rate. This basically means that 5% of the people watching the video ad clicks in on your store, which is very impressive considering that it's a cold ad targeting random people who aren't really on Facebook to shop. And if we reach 100 people, we will get 5 clicks on our site. And as you can see, we're getting the clicks for 0.43 pounds. That's incredibly cheap for this high quality of traffic. And we are sitting at a total of 117 link clicks. Now, this is the top of your funnel. And if you aren't getting link clicks to begin with, which is very likely, you're probably running Facebook ads without the best results, my strategy isn't going to help you. So let me show to you the exact creatives that we're using to get these results. And I know you want to see exactly how I duplicate my ad sets, how they make so much money, but you need to understand this first. So let's go through the somewhat boring stuff, okay? And then in 5 minutes, I'm gonna blow your mind. So when you're testing products, always pay attention to this metric right here, because if your click-through rate is low, I'll end up cutting the ad sets. As you can see, one of these ad sets is sitting at just a 2%. Now, it has only one link click, so it's early to tell, but it's sitting at 2%, so it's clearly not a dominating one. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. And I'm also not patient when testing. I believe that if your product is good and your campaign is set up correctly, it should start making sales pretty much instantly. And if that's not the case, I'll spend $20, $30 on the campaign, and I'll simply just cut it, fix my problems, relaunch it, or even in some cases, I will just move on from the product. So let's start beginner friendly and get more advanced as we go. When you're first starting with Facebook ads, you're gonna be very confused as to what metrics do you read. I know many of you are paying attention to metrics like CPM, impressions. I'm gonna keep it simple for you. You can come up here to columns, you can go ahead and customize them, and the only metrics you want to add is gonna be CPC. You obviously want to have the ROAS too. That's what's showing you how profitable you are. And then on top of that, you also got to see the link clicks that you're getting and the amount spent. Now, there are more important metrics on Facebook, but to be honest, if you have these, you're going to be able to make good judgments on your ads. So whenever I'm running something, I will see if the click-through rate is good, if the cost per click is good, and if none of those are good and we're not getting visitors, I'm going to cut it. So when launching a new product, I set up 2 campaigns to give my product a proper chance. The first campaign I set up is a broad CBO. And for that one, I keep the budget at $50 a day. Whenever you increase too early on Facebook, performance usually drops down. Inside of it, I put 5 ad sets. And the interesting thing is all of these ad sets are the exact same. The only difference is that, as you can see on the left side, every single ad set is running with 2 different creatives. That means it's running with 2 different videos or pictures, okay? So in this test campaign, I am able to test over 10 videos. That's gonna give me a good idea early on as to whether or not it's worth it. For the countries, I'm going the top 5, but if you're starting out, UK is gonna be the easiest. For the audience, I just keep everything Advantage Plus. And for the placements, I also don't touch them. So the campaign is gonna end up looking like this with 5 copy-paste ad sets testing different videos each. And here you can see the 10 videos in total. The next campaign I launched to give my product a proper chance is an ABO. And in this case, the ABO actually ended up outperforming the CBO because we were able to use interest targeting. So I like to launch 7 ad sets running at $10 a day each. You can ignore the $3 budgets that it says right here. This is a student of mine's ad account. We're gonna look inside of my own here in a second, but let's finish up the example. So as you can see here, as we are selling a very specific product, interest targeting is working better as we can target the exact type of customer that we're trying to reach. So if you look inside of it, we can see that we are targeting one specific demographic. So let's say that this is a cleaning product that moms usually buy. We can go ahead and target cleaning. We can also click again to get the relevance tab where we can find other audiences such as laundry, washing machine, we could target dust. So what I'm doing here is I'm making 7 ad sets to test a couple of different audiences and see what works. Now the reason this is so powerful is we can run the broad CBO to figure out what videos work, and we can run the interest targeting to figure out what demographic work. Usually one of these 2 campaigns are going to get results, and if none of them does, you gotta move on from the product. Now when it comes to getting good content for your video ads though, that is always gonna be a little bit tricky. When you're first starting a store, you can simply just browse the internet, compile together, steal some clips here, take some there, mix it into your own. But what I did personally for my own brand when I first started it is I reached out to tons of girls on Instagram who had like 500 followers who would simply just feel cool to film a video of my product, feeling like they are an influencer, right? So I paid them like $50. I messaged like 100 girls and I told them for $50 and a free product, can you exchange content for my store? By doing this, I got user-generated content early on and beat all my competitors. But since the campaign I showed you has the craziest click-through rate, why don't I just show you the videos that we used? So here you can see a ton of different creatives. We even have one of them sitting at a 10% click-through rate. But let me show one of the ones that works. And as you can see here, we instantly have a person showing it more as an unboxing thing. It's not a straight up ad, it's more genuine content showcasing this type of sauna and why it's so cool. So while watching this video ad, you get a proper idea as to what it's going to be like owning the product. And then in the end, we just have the woman say, get yours today. What works the best on Facebook is to show the product in action as somebody using it. This is more like a tutorial. There's no words needed. Look at this attention grabbing thing. A woman is stepping out of the sauna. You instantly understand the whole product. There's no need for any words at all. You can have a sauna at home. Everyone gets the point, and it's just overall a very good video ad. Now let me show you how I actually scale though. As you can see inside of my ads manager, we have way too many campaigns. But the thing with Facebook right now is that duplicating things over to a campaign using this absolutely idiotic strategy I'm about to teach you, which is so simple that a person with like 50 IQ can do this, okay? So you can do it, okay? You can actually do it.
Okay.
You simply just duplicate things into new campaigns. But before I show you that, let's talk about when I cut ad sets, okay? Because this is very, very important. The first thing I'm gonna look at is the amount spent, okay? For example, this ad set here has spent $11, but it's not gotten any sales. I have another ad set here that spent $23 and it's gotten 2 sales. So on average, we have a cost per purchase of around $14 here. So I'm simply just gonna go ahead and cut any ad sets that spends more than that. In most cases when testing a product, if an ad set spends $20 and there is no sales on it, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Now usually we are running on a campaign budget, like you can see on this ad set right here. $50 a day, you spend $42 to get 1 sale. That gives us a cost per purchase of $42 and a 2.4 ROAS. An ad set like this, personally, I would honestly just let it run because I can afford to and just hope that it gets better. But in most cases, when you have a ad set like this, do not hold on to it because good ad sets usually blow up instantly, and if they are too slow, I'm sorry, I don't got the time for it. Now, how do we actually scale ad sets that are working good though? Let's go inside of a random campaign here, and our goal with any campaign we run is really just to find a dominating ad set, and we can clearly see we have it here. 3 of these ad sets aren't working. So what did we do? Well, we cut those 3. Now we have a dominating one at 7 sales. We have another one at 1 sale, so that one is too early to tell. what I'm gonna do is I'm simply just gonna go ahead and duplicate the one that is dominating, and I'm gonna publish it, okay? So when I come into this page right here, I'm not gonna change anything. I'm just gonna straight up clone every ad set that works. So eventually, the new ad set I duplicate is also gonna start getting sales, so I clone it again. It's that simple. Anything that works, we just copy it and do it over again. And then, or new copy, we do it another time. Now, here is the magic trick I'm using, which makes scaling super, super easy. Okay, so let's pull up a random campaign. We got this one right here, which clearly has a winning ad set, 5 ROAS. That means for every dollar we spend, we make 5 back. But we actually have 2 pretty decent ones. The first thing I'm gonna do is any ad set that has 3 sales, I scale. You probably wonder, Henrik, when do you scale your ad set? If it has 3 sales, I'm gonna make a move on it, because 2 sales could be lucky. So with 3 sales on the ad set, it's time to duplicate it, okay? So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna duplicate it, but I'm gonna put it into a new campaign, just like we test with the CBOs, right? You remember a broad campaign, 5 ad sets. I'm literally just gonna take the ad set that works, I'm gonna duplicate it into a brand new campaign, 5 copies of the ad set. I'm gonna put the budget to $50 a day and publish it. So while using this strategy, which is like the most common way to scale, is gonna be a mess, okay? You are gonna have thousands of campaigns, but at least it's gonna be your own mess that you are paying attention to. One more thing you can do is you can increase the budget. As you can see, all of these campaigns have different budgets. The thing with Facebook now is you are better off running 10 campaigns, so you duplicate into a new one, running at $100 a day than to run one at $1,000. Big budget campaigns usually just don't work anymore. And as soon as you increase the budget past $100, performance nearly always drops down. So for that reason, I'm duplicating good ad sets into a new campaign. So then with the new campaign, I'm adding another $50, okay? I add another campaign for $50, now we're at $100. So I'm stacking campaigns, okay, and new ad sets instead of increasing the budget drastically, because every time you vertically scale, the increasing of budgets, it falls down and it crashes or the campaign dies out. Another thing that's important to know when scaling is that when you use CBO, which is campaign budget, okay, your ad sets are going to die out. So you constantly have to make duplicates. Now here is the thing I do, which is so obvious that actually gets me consistent results. Because running broad like this, you're gonna have a 3 ROAS, but it's just not gonna be that good, you know? So we need to find a way to get consistent customers and figure out who we're selling to. So for that exact purpose, I'm using interest targeting. And as you can see, one of our ad sets is sitting at 10 ROAS. That is not possible unless you target a demographic. So to figure out who our audience is, let's say we're selling a jewelry product to people who are materialistic but broke, okay? So they're trying to buy like a fake bracelet. Smartest thing we can do is to target where they would like to buy from. So we're targeting, for example, Gucci. Another thing we can do is hit suggestions. We can target all of these different designer brands. But let me show you the best trick actually, because Facebook right now is very broad. You can also target things such as gift, maybe Black Friday. If it's Black Friday, we are targeting the big interest. So you can even go with Netflix, YouTube, any of these are going to be fine. The smaller the interest is, the more precise it is, yes, but it usually doesn't work. So when you launch interest campaigns, they are very stupid. We just target online shopping. We just target engaged shoppers. We don't have much strategy here. It's like a strategy for dumb people that somehow managed to make me like $30,000 a day consistently. And the only issue with the strategy is that it's going to be a mess and you're gonna have so many campaigns. Now, here is the issue you probably have, because our criteria to scale is that we need 3 sales in one ad set. And when you're first trying to launch your ads and hit a winning product, that's going to be really hard because Facebook is going to miss the tracking of some of your ad sets. So let's say that you're making 3 sales on your Shopify store, which is the criteria to scaling. When we make 3 sales, we can duplicate the ad set into a new campaign, we can increase the budget, and we can play around with it. Let's say that you're making 3 sales, which is already very difficult, but Facebook tracks only 2 of them. So you can only assume where the last sale is coming from, which is not good. You need the data or it's not going to work. Well, if that happens, you're absolutely so in 2025, you need to have a way to track your ads. And if I did not implement this on my own store, it would not be making $800,000 a month now because I would try to scale with inaccurate data. So to solve that exact problem, you need to be using Hyros. So Hyros is a tracking software that gives you accurate data on your campaigns, making it a lot easier to scale. And you can integrate this super easily without having to make any changes to your business. Every person I know that's crushing it with paid ads uses Hyros, and you probably heard about it as well. It just makes it a lot easier for you to scale your e-com business. So let me show you how it works. Here's the dashboard. You can integrate with your ads manager. But if we go into the reporting section here of the software, we're going to be able to track the accurate data on our advertising. So from all of the different platforms we're using to bring in sales, let's say we want to go with specifically Facebook. We'll go inside of our campaign, we'll head over to the ad sets, and as you can see, we'll look at this one, for example, we spent $10,000 to generate $27,000 in revenue. Now here's the interesting part. As you know, we have a revenue of 27,000 on this exact ad set. But if we come over here to the reported revenue, this is $9,800 that Hyros has collected for us. That's nearly 30% more than the data that Facebook actually gave us. So by using this, we're gonna get much more accurate ROAS, making the scaling phase so much easier. In 2025, we are really limited as business owners scaling on Facebook because they miss, I don't know, 1 in 4, 1 in 5 sales, even in worst cases, 1 in 3 sales. So by using Hyros, you will solve this exact problem. You will actually know how profitable you are. You can integrate it super easily. It's gonna show you your real ROAS, as well as the most mind-blowing, when you make your account, you're gonna see how much fucking money you're losing by not having it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link Hyros in the description. And this is a genuine recommendation because without it, my brand would certainly not have done $800,000 the last month because I wouldn't be able to scale accurately. So head to the link in the description and get started. But okay, there's another thing we need to talk about. This is going to be the downfall of your business because there is a reason why you're having good days and then it doesn't work anymore. There's a reason why people get to 100K a month and then they fall off. It's usually because of something called creative fatigue. It's very easy for a person to get comfortable, right? You're making sales, your video ads are working. It's easy for you to get comfortable and stop testing, but the second you stop testing, your business goes downhill. So what you need to do is creative testing. Now I'm sure you remember this campaign which I showed you earlier. We're actually always taking a step back to test new creatives. So all of the campaigns you see here, 1 of 4 of these campaigns, even while making money, are actually going to be campaigns where we go back to scratch to test new videos. Every single Friday, for example, we will launch new creatives for our store because video ads, we know for a fact that they die out. So while you're making 30K a day, 40K a day, you need to take a step back, launch those boring $50 campaigns. You're never too good for it to find new video ads that perform, okay? Because otherwise your store is only gonna last 1 month. So what you then do is with your winning ad sets that are making you money, you simply just go ahead and duplicate them and put your new winning video ads under it, okay? If you want to learn Facebook ads and dropshipping from me personally, I do have a mentorship program which has, I mean, no doubt, the best results in the entire industry. Many of my students, they all work with me one-on-one, okay? Go from 0 to 100K within a month, complete beginners. I'm not saying that's always realistic. I had a guy who was 17 years old, make 25K profit his first month. So if you're interested in learning from me personally, you can send me a message on Instagram right here. But that's gonna be it for today's video. I know you guys appreciate my Facebook ad videos, so I'm gonna try to do 1 a month. If you liked it, remember to click a like on the video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.